Good afternoon. Welcome back to Poetry and Police. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd, in the lovely city of Delaware, waiting to be unloaded. Big up to all my followers, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and a whole heap of respect going out of Christopher Porter and his channel Jamaican Young Police. I believe that if you are a subscriber to my channel, you should subscribe to that channel, because that brother have some positive messages for members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, members of the public, and for who wants to join the Jamaica Constabulary, even for who has left the organization. Detective Constable Christopher Porter, former Detective Constable Christopher Porter, has some positive messages. So go over to his channel, Jamaica Young Police, subscribe and listen to his videos. He has over chat, so you can learn a few things or understand a few things from Christopher Porter's channel. But big up all the police in Jamaica who are fighting the good fight, who are keeping their head up, notwithstanding the whole salary situation that existed and still exists up until this time. Whereas that is concerned, I don't think anybody, no matter how loud we blow the trumpet, the government, like I said before, will do whatever they want to do, no matter the noise that anybody makes. Because the Prime Minister said it, and I've been saying that in order to deal with the police, there are other entities that are on the crease, ready for their negotiation to start once the police is dealt with, or they are waiting to get their fair share of wage negotiations as soon as the police are dealt with. Because, like he said, you have to think about the other organizations, firemen, teachers, nurses, all essential service government workers, because if they take care of the police, then they will have to take care of the rest of the government services too. And although I'm an ex-police officer, and I want the police to be dealt with, but also I have to consider the teachers too, and the nurses too, and all essential services too, because they deserve good raises also, and to be treated as fair as the police. But the government must realize that you owe the police some money. So apart from that raise, that new salary package that you need to give to police, you should deal with the money that you owe the police promptly. Mind you, the matter is before the court, so we also see what happens when the court procedures shall have finished, and what the rulings are, that if police will be paid for the monies that are owed to us from 2008. So that is another topic for discussion after the court matter has been resolved. Now let's go further by talking about Jamaica on a whole. The crime problem in Jamaica is out of control. It is too much. In the history of being a policeman in Jamaica, crime has never reached the level that criminality, especially murders, has reached in Jamaica today. There's a video out that a policeman was talking about commissioners and changing commissioners and stuff like that. But I want to say a few words as it relates to that policeman's video. I don't remember his name, but he has a few good points. Even the point that commissioner does not fight crime. He says commissioner does not fight crime. But I beg to differ. The foot soldiers fight crime, yes, we fight crime. But what does the commissioner do? He organizes. He leads. So, if an organization is failing, who's to blame? Must be the leader. And if you cannot lead an organization, then you should be removed. That is my take on the whole thing. Whether you are fighting crime on the ground or not, as the commissioner of police, if your organization is failing, then you should step down and let somebody come in who can try to do better than you. Quayle was thrown out faster than Mr. Anderson, and Mr. Anderson is still here, and trust me, the crime is now far worse than when Quayle was in office. Anderson need to be need to be removed. And finally, in Jamaica, the choice of a commissioner of police should never be a political one, as it has always been a political appointment. The people of Jamaica, including members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, it is time that we put down our feet and ensure that whosoever takes that post in the future is a person that is not affiliated to any political party, a neutral person who can serve both PNP and both JLP, a new person who can look out to see what is best for the country and its people, as well as its police officers and other essential services. We cannot have a commissioner that leans to one particular political party, and a commissioner whose loyalty lies with the Prime Minister who is in power right now. Because frankly, the Prime Minister is government. He runs the government. He does not run the police department. He oversees, maybe, or through the Minister of National Security. The Prime Minister is not trained in policing. He's not a police. He was never been, and he will never be. The Minister of National Security is also not a police officer. He was not trained to be a police officer. He'd probably be an attorney or something else. So they cannot dictate how to police Jamaica, because they are ignorant as it relates to fighting crime, to putting certain measures in place. That falls with the Commissioner of Police and his deputies. If the Commissioner fails, his deputies also fail. So if you're removing the Commissioner of Police, his deputies need to go too. All of his team need to be removed so a new team can come into place. A new team that must come with a new crime plan, must come with new ways how to prevent crimes in Jamaica or to slow the crime rate down, especially murder rate. It has been said from time immemorial, it's also in the books, that murders are non-preventable crimes. I agree. Because if you want to kill Tom Strokes and you are there to kill him at 10 p.m. and the police is at his house, you're going to wait until the police leave before you actually commit the murder, because you can wait. So you can say that murders are non-preventable. But this is what needs to happen. Methods, proper policing needs to be put in place to deter murders, to deter criminal activities in all regards. Because it is other criminal activities that leads to murder in the first place. Gang violence, the drugs and the guns. Guns are coming into Jamaica like water. And when we are finding guns, we are only finding a fraction, maybe 1% of what is actually coming through the ports. So we need to control the ports to get the guns out, because guns are a commodity in Jamaica now. You have gun stores in Jamaica, illegal gun stores, that everybody from anywhere in Jamaica can go and buy a firearm, illegal firearm. So that is where we have to stamp down on that in order to get rid of the guns. We cannot wait until guns are in the country, then we go and search for them. We will not be so lucky at all times, like I've seen recently, where guns are practically being harvested. It all look like a ploy to me, but I won't say nothing more on it. But guns are being harvested right now in certain area of Kingston. But before we can stamp out this gun violence and these gun crimes, we need to find ways to prevent the guns from coming into Jamaica. So we need to ramp up security at the ports. And there's too much corruption in Jamaica. That is what is causing all of this, because everybody is hustling on the ports and otherwise. Even police officers are hustling too. So guns are coming into Jamaica, drugs are coming into Jamaica. And those are the main things that are causing the crime and violence in Jamaica. Because if you check out most of the murders in Jamaica, they are gang related. Check out most of the robberies in Jamaica. The murders in Jamaica, they are mostly gang related. We have seen a spike in robbery murders, but If you check the statistics in Jamaica for all the years, especially now, most of Jamaican murders are gang-related murders. And why are they gang-related murders? Because we allow the gangs to breathe in the communities. You see, the political tribalism that exists in Jamaica now, creating the Don and the leaders of communities who are criminals, that is where all the gang violence is coming from. From a fight for turf, murder for turf, murder for drugs. This is where, that's the wing that the Jamaica Constabulary Force leaders need to stop. The government needs to put stuff in place to stop the guns and stop these dons from infiltrating the whole country. But are they doing enough? I believe not. Because like I have said before, crime is a business. Who benefits from crime? Look around you. The FLA is corrupt. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is corrupt. Politics corrupt. And the courts are corrupt. So how do we get rid of this corruption? How do we get rid of this sewer? So it has reached a point where Jamaica is classified as one of the most violent countries on earth. That even America is trying to tell their people not to visit Jamaica. So our tourism industries is now what? Sacked because of gang violence, because of crime and violence in Jamaica. Our politicians are involved in crime and violence in Jamaica. Several of our police officers are involved in crimes in Jamaica. That is the root of all our problems right there. Politicians, police, and other entities who are running Jamaica. Money, businessmen, murder for hire. That is what is happening in Jamaica. The police hands are tied. We can only do but so much. The ones who are not corrupt, our hands are tied, we are unpromoted, and so we are prevented from carrying out our duties in the best way we can, or the best way we want to carry out our duties. Let's stop talking about salary, because that is not going anywhere. The government is not going to give police any money. They are always broke when it comes to police. So we are not going to get anything. But at least pay us the money that you owe us. Find some benefits to give to us. I see there's a video out now where a sergeant is talking about her treatment in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Yo, your story is something like mine, Detective Sergeant. And it will never be addressed. It will never be addressed. At least you are charged. At least you can go to court. And if you win your case, then you're free to go. Mine is a different case. Mine was just a file hanging over my head that yes, I'm supposed to be charged and being investigated, and still no charges were forthcoming to me. But there is nothing to charge me for. It was just only a file to keep you one place, to silence you. But whatever whistle you blowed, trust me. I thought you were smart enough to know that Jamaica is not a place for you to blow whistles. Whistles will get you killed. The only time you blow a whistle is when you're no longer part of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Because any whistle you blow will turn back on you. And that is how corrupt the organization is. If you stand for truth in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, your career will be suppressed. You will be suppressed. So blowing whistles in the Jamaican Constabulary Force does not make sense. It will turn right back on you. You said that you reported all what you did to the Commissioner of Police. It came out. The man is not a police. What does he care about the Jamaica Constabulary Force? What does he even care about solving crime in Jamaica? The man is just a media personality. A pretty boy thing, him now. Now, the policeman said that in his video, he stated that Commission don't fight crime. But that's the norm in Jamaica. But white commissioner can't fight crime. You think the commissioner is better than coming out on the street for one or two operations, dress up in a pretty dandan and carry M16 rifle too? He's supposed to be a police officer. So he should be able to come out on the street once in a few to show his face. That would help in the deterrent of crime, and that would also help in mobilizing the police officers in Jamaica right now, because the force is demoralized. So see the commissioner out there on the street might help. Might say, look, the commissioner is out here too. It's not just us. A little zeal to move to work even harder. That's the issue. So the commissioner needs to come out of his office and come work too. What do you mean by commissioner don't fight crime? He's supposed to be a crime fighter. The commissioner of police is supposed to be the most well-rounded police officer. Patrol, investigation, you name it. The commissioner of police is supposed to be so qualified. Not just having a degree in management and law and psychology. No, he needs to know how to fight crime, how to be on the ground, how to write an entry to in a diary. This man come from the army, you don't even know if he can write a diary entry. Arresting a man for a ganja spliff. Trust me, pan. And this is the man that is commissioner of police. No. What is going to happen now when we choose the next commissioner of police? Are we not going to get involved? This is the time for the Federation to step up. So that anybody, the next person who falls into that office should be a person that members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force voted on or votes on to say, listen, this person is fit to be our leader. I think we should have, the members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force should have a say on who becomes the next commissioner of police. And to make it even extreme, the nation on a whole, like an election, should vote for the next commissioner of police. Because with the commissioner of police, the balance of Jamaica swings with who becomes the next commissioner of police, or swings with who is the commissioner of police. Because the commissioner of police is a vital member of Jamaica, because he is the one that can balance the crime to make Jamaica a better place. He and the men under his command. I end that one right there. See what you want to say about that. Now, Amos came up with some idea. And what Amos came up with, I have been saying that in most of my videos, as it relates to the FLA and police officers and licensed firearms. That all police officers should be issued licensed firearms. But Superintendent, ex ACP, Mr. Newton Amos, what he failed to add to the thing is policies to be put in place that how and when police officers are supposed to get guns. Because right now, I believe that a policeman should never have to apply for a firearm to be used in Jamaica. Never. Once you join the organization and you are so trained in 9mm, .38, M16 rifles, shotgun, Uzi, if them still do that in the police training school. Once you are trained and you up on graduation, this is my thing, you know. My take on the thing out here, if you want to agree with me or not. But up on graduation, and you are being posted in any division that a policeman should graduate with his permit to buy his firearm. Upon graduation, every police officer can. Let me tell you something. I heard this, they always talking about, oh, you have to wait until you're off probation. Off probation for what? Does a gunman care if you're a senior police or a probationer to give you a gunshot in Jamaica? It would appear as if people don't understand that once you're a police officer, you're criminal enemy number one. And it doesn't matter if you're a probationer or you have done 50 years in the organization. They are going to kill you. So once you have graduated from the Jamaica Police Academy, you should graduate with that permit to purchase your firearm. Without any investigation whatsoever into your background, you're a police officer. What kind of investigation the FLA needs to carry out? This is the other thing that is going on with FLA that is so wrong. I'm a detective corporal of police. I own a 9mm Glock pistol. I was trained to fire .38 M16 9mm, you name it, at the police academy. I'm a police officer, active. I applied for a .38. And you tell me, I had to pay $15,000 for training, to train to use a .38, a firearm that I was already trained by the Jamaica Constabulary Force to use. So where's that double jeopardy come from? Why does a police officer has to train to use a 9mm pistol, a .38, that he had already been trained by the Jamaica Constabulary Force to use? So what are you saying, that the Jamaica Constabulary Force's trainers are not good enough? Tell me, FLA, is that what you are saying, FLA? That the persons that you assign to train private people are better trainers than the ones that the Jamaica Constabulary Force has? Where do you get that from? So these are one of the double standards that we need to get rid of as it relates to FLA. FLA has too much powers when it comes to police officers. FLA should not be allowed to investigate. And I'm not joking when I say that. FLA should not be allowed to investigate any police officer. FLA is full of civilians. No civilian should be investigating police officers. Their backgrounds are where they live and stuff like that. The other day I saw the one Shane Darling came out talking about how many guns were issued to criminals. What you do? What did you just do? Why, you're throwing out the skeletons from your closet? Who had the door when most of those firearms were issued? You, Shane Darling. You had the door. You are the gatekeeper. So tell me, how you make so much gun fall through your hands? You come on national TV and come chat about whosoever have illegal guns. You are the one behind all of that too. You are a criminal. You should be in prison. You don't want to issue any firearms to police. But anybody comes for firearm, once they have money, firearm is issued to them. Let me tell you something. When the FLA was formed, it was formed because they said that police officers were taking advantage of the situation with issuing firearms, and they were collecting money, and it was a whole lot of illegal activities. But is the FLA any better? Because right now, it is far worse. On the street right now, it's $1 million to get a firearm. Anybody can get a firearm who have $1 million can get a firearm from FLA under Shane Darling's governance. So it doesn't stop. More criminals have guns now more than when the police have guns. The other thing that Jamaica need to think about, you need to arm the nation. Once a man applies for a firearm and he's so qualified and has no criminal background, then there's no reason not to give that man a firearm. Arm the nation. As a result of that, there may be drastic reduction in crime. Amos was saying that most licensed firearm holders you could use them to do to help with the crime situation in Jamaica. That's another good point. But at the same time, what Amos needs to understand, this is a very tedious situation wherein these people, these licensed firearm holders, have to volunteer. They have to volunteer. Well, you can put out a bulletin if we are going to use that. They would have to volunteer to say, we are willing to do this. We are willing to do this. So that needs to change. That can work, but it has to be a plan. And it has to be put in place perfectly. To be executed perfectly. For that to be done. But I believe, upon conclusion of this video right now, there's a whole lot of stuff on my mind. I will talk about it some other time, because I'd started this video a long time, never finished this video. That we should scrap the FLA. The FLA should be a branch, should fall under the Ministry of National Security. So all proceeds from the FLA should fall under the Ministry of National Security through the Revenue Department. The monies from FLA, the proceeds from FLA, if there's any, it is used to help pay police, district constables, you name it. There shouldn't be any private security protecting the FLA. Everybody that works at the FLA should be district constables. So trained special district constables. Both who are guarding and who are working. And like I said, there shouldn't be a FLA. It should be a branch of the Island Revenue Department. Monitored by the police. Because I know that you can find a trusted police officer to lead the issuing of firearms. An uncorrupted man. They are there. There are a whole lot of them that can be found. But no, the government privatized the FLA because they want the proceeds of FLA. So there's more criminality exists now in the FLA than when police had it. Because there's a whole saying, you know, thief never like to see thief with long bag. I will say it again. Thief never like to see thief with long bag. The police was making too much money, they claim, so now they want a piece of the food. So they're taking FLA, privatize FLA for them rich friends uptown, move FLA uptown, paying a whole lot of rent. You see what is going on in Jamaica? That is what is going on in Jamaica. Criminal activity will never stop in Jamaica. It will never stop. Because everybody on your food. And with that, we'll talk to you some other time. Out.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys.